Hello, can you hear me? Oh boy. Oh shit. Boomer Jeff doing boomer shit. I guess I get to start over because I had my mixer turned off. That was good. That's cool. That's all right. All right. So I was just talking a little bit about the COVID-19 relief package. It's going to the Senate now as the debate over the minimum wage continues. That's sort of like this piece here. Look, I got a big old picture of Bernie on the front. He's probably talking about something good. I don't know. Probably why we need to keep $15 minimum wage in. But I was just saying that the Senate takes up the president's $1.9 trillion coronavirus aid package this week, following a largely party line vote early Saturday morning. Democrats are using the process to avoid a Republican filibuster and technology. Good Lord, hate it. One of the funny things that I find about this, and I was just saying before I turn the sound actually on, like part of the reasons that Democrats have like watered down the actually good things, like they went from $2,000 to $1,400 or whatever, is because they wanted to do a bipartisan. You still have no audio? Can you hear me now? Hello? Beep, beep, burp, burp, burp. I swear to God, I was literally using this just the other day and it worked fine. Oh, boy. You can hear me. Okay, cool. G Wolf, you can hear me? This is one of those technical difficulty streams that I've seen people do. It's perfect. I love it. It's really awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna assume people can hear me now. Yeah, Democrats seem to think that they like would just water down these. Okay, cool. They can water down the bill, take out the $2,000 that people really needed, make it $1,400 because we want to do a bipartisanship. We want to get along with Republicans or whatever. And what's the lesson? Because when this went through the House, at least the when it went through the House, it got 0 Republican votes. It's expected to get 0 Republican votes in the Senate. So, like, what's the takeaway that these loser Democrats are going to have now that they tried to do a bipartisanship and they didn't get it? Is the lesson going to be, oh wow, we should just put all this good stuff in anyway because no matter what, we can make this, we can get something to happen. Fuck the Republicans. Or what are they going to do? The other thing, which is like, oh, we didn't water this down enough, and next time we shouldn't put like good sweet deals in there, like $15 minimum wage. And that's sort of like the thing that's really wild to me, because I think they're going to take the second lesson. That's just what Democrats do. Oh my God, this is unbearable. It's unbearable. So how's everybody doing today? How y'all doing? Did y'all see the picture of Matt Gaetz? God damn, that dude has got the most punchable face I've ever seen in my entire life. All right. Well, because of all that technical difficulty, I'm a little bit discombobulated. So you have to excuse me. I did like a whole 20 minutes with no audio. This is a professional operation here, folks. So we have Antifa, we have G Wolf, we have S in the chat today. Let's see here. Wow. I'm surprised by this one. So let's talk a little bit about this. I find this interesting in a couple of ways, this particular story. So Andrew Cuomo is the mayor of, he's the governor, rather, of New York. And he is a real piece of shit. I mean, if we're going to be totally straight up frank and honest here, he is known in New York for being just generally bully.
Andrew Cuomo.
He is currently embroiled in a scandal where he's implicated in a cover-up, essentially, of the death of many people who live in nursing homes. And part of the situation, part of the scandal for that is, well, he's been cutting funding the hospitals in New York for many years, and that has resulted in less service available for people, and also, that means that more people who would be getting care, especially more elderly people, have been forced into nursing homes. When COVID happened, nursing homes were very, very early targets, or very, very early Democrats, the other Republicans, right? Nursing homes took it really, really hard when COVID began, and it just became a real and utter disaster. And specifically in New York, Cuomo kind of hid some of that information, and he's embroiled in this. Now what's happening is that's enough to get, in my opinion, the fact that hundreds of people in nursing homes were killed, and he hid that fact. But now he's also done another horrible thing, which he's got multiple sexual harassment claims against him. So here's the headline. Cuomo says he's truly sorry for workplace comments. He says were, quote, misinterpreted as an unwanted flirtation. Oh, Jesus. Following sexual assault claims. It's funny to me with these kinds of headlines that CNN does, that it basically puts Cuomo as the active character here. Cuomo is like the subject. He is Cuomo says something. Cuomo says he's sorry for workplace comments. He says were misinterpreted as an unwanted flirtation. Why isn't the story Cuomo is accused of workplace comments that were interpreted as flirtation? I don't know. It's really, really ridiculous how the media plays that kind of thing out. The king of blue MAGA. Well, that's the other thing too, and we can get into that. So let's watch this clip.
The governor's new statement reads in part, "At work, sometimes I think I am being playful and make jokes that I think are funny. I do, on occasion, tease people in what I think is a good-natured way. I now understand that my interactions may have been insensitive or too personal, and that some of my comments, given my position, made others feel in ways I never intended. I acknowledge some of the things I have said have been misinterpreted as an unwanted flirtation." Joining us now is Jesse McKinley, the Albany bureau chief for the New York Times. Jesse broke this story about Cuomo's second accuser. He spoke to her and reviewed all of her text messages and emails. Jesse, thank you very much for being here. So here's part of what you write, just so that people understand what Charlotte Bennett, who's 25 years old, she was a former aide. Here are some of the things that she told you. Bennett, who had just turned 25 at the time, said Mr. Cuomo had also asked her about her feelings about age differences in relationships, saying age doesn't matter, according to a text she sent to her friend. He asked me if I believed if age made a difference in relationships, and he also asked me in the same conversation if I had ever been with an older man. And of course, there's more, Jesse. So just tell us about why she felt comfortable.
So this is like a classic story of like a boss being like a creep to one of his employees. Like, I worked in the service industry and I saw this kind of stuff all the time for years. Just bosses sort of like, ha ha ha, would you ever be with an older man kind of conversation. Now I want to finish this off, but I find it very interesting that most of the cover up story of the, and I'm not like trying to undersell, like, this is horrible, like this is a very horrible situation, but why is this a headline much more than the the deaths? I mean, they both should be absolutely headlines for sure. I just don't. I mean, I understand why, but it's really, really sort of problematic that both of these things are true. Mainstream media is such a PR front. Yeah, that's true.
Coming forward, and why now?
Well, this came in the wake of another sexual harassment allegation last week by Lindsey Boland, who's another former Cuomo administration official, who said that the governor had kissed her in 2018. Subsequent to that, I reached out to Charlotte, who had retweeted that initial story. And then Charlotte and I had lengthy conversations on Thursday and Friday about her experiences. She shared, as you pointed out, text messages contemporaneous to her experiences, which lent credence to what she was talking about. And as you pointed out, these are very serious allegations that she levied, things like asking if she'd slept with older men, her positions on monogamy, and the governor indicating a willingness to sleep with women in their 20s. Charlotte herself is 25. All of that in toto basically sent a message to Charlotte that the governor was essentially propositioning her for a sexual advance.
I will read another quote from her in the article in her own words, because Charlotte Bennett had the courage to come forward, and let's give her the strength of those words. She says, "I understood that the governor wanted to sleep with me and felt horribly uncomfortable and scared and was wondering how I was going to get out of it and assumed it was the end of my job." Now, Governor Cuomo has apologized, which is rare for him, but it's an apology with a lot of ifs, ands, or I apologize if she felt this way, or if I left people with the impression of X, Y.
So he didn't apologize, of course. He did one of those like fake apologies where he said, "Oh, if I felt bad by being, if you felt creeped out by me being a creep, then I guess you're sorry." Like he's the king of fake apologies. But yeah, I do want to circle back and say like, yes, this is horrible, and this has to be compounded with the situation of him managing the COVID crisis so terribly that there's a giant pile of bodies that are on his hands. And G. Wolf says that you're never going to get unbiased news about Cuomo on CNN. That is true. One of the things that the press does do, and it's really, really fucking frustrating, is they do everything that they can to like not criticize like somebody in government's like actual decisions and things that they do. However, at the same time, when they have a story that is sort of like, they can very easily view this as, it's horrible for sure, but it's definitely much more of a personal, like salacious story kind of sort of that CNN can sort of like very easily get their hooks into. They're gonna blast and highlight that. And I mean, obviously, again, I'm not trying to like make any, definitely believe those, people who experienced this horrible situation by Cuomo. But I think that it is very interesting to me that that's what is going on. That's the way that prioritizes. I do want to switch to a different story, and this is actually kind of good news. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, like, we've talked a lot on this show. We've done an entire episode last Thursday on our podcast feed. Also, Robert and myself talked about the strike that, not a strike, it's a union drive, rather. It's a union drive in Alabama, Bessemer, Alabama, by Amazon workers at a fulfillment center that they have out there, and Amazon's doing everything that they possibly can, from putting signs in the bathroom that say like "vote no on your union" to changing the street lights to disrupt organizing patterns. They're doing everything that they can to bust this union, to stop this union drive from happening, and they're in the middle of a 7-week voting process, largely by mail, to recognize this union, which is really great and really exciting, awesome news. And one of the things that was sort of completely missing here was Joe Biden. He was, offering up comments of like, oh, we support workers' rights to organize in a general sense, but he kind of was very, very much hiding from the actual question of, do you support these workers in Alabama? So according at least to this headline, and I have not read this article yet, according to this headline, and I've seen others like it, Biden offers support to union organizing efforts. So let's see what that means, because headlines can be deceiving. President Biden offered his support on Sunday to union organizing efforts as Amazon workers at an Alabama warehouse vote on whether to unionize. So that sounds good. In a video posted on Twitter, the president told workers, quote, "In Alabama and all across America that are considering joining a union, workers in Alabama and all across America that are considering joining a union, that they face a vitally important choice." Okay, what does that mean? Let's look at the video. Let's just look at the video. All right.
Street. It was. I've long said America wasn't built by Wall Street. It was built by the middle class, and unions built the middle class. Unions put power in the hands of workers. They level the playing field. They give you a stronger voice for your health, your safety, higher wages, protections from racial discrimination and sexual harassment. Unions lift up workers, both union and non-union, and especially black and brown workers. I've made it clear.
Okay, so far so good. All of those things that he said were true.
When I was running, that my administration's policy would be to support unions organizing and the right to collectively bargain. I'm keeping that promise. You should all remember, the National Labor Relations Act didn't just say that unions are allowed to exist. It said that we should encourage unions. So let me be really clear. It's not up to me to decide whether anyone should join a union. But let me be even more clear. It's not up to an employer to decide that either. The choice to join.
All right. That's kind of mush mouth. That's kind of BS so far. I mean, like he's saying, he's trying to like distance himself in a certain way, to say like, well, the workers can decide or whatever. But anyway, let's see. The workers have the choice.
Any union.
It's important to think that like the framing of this as well is that workers have a choice, not workers have power, which is kind of key.
It's up to the workers. Full stop. Full stop. Today and over the next few days and weeks, workers in Alabama and all across America are voting on whether to organize a union in their workplace. This is vitally important, a vitally important choice as America grapples with the deadly pandemic, the economic crisis, and the reckoning on race. What it reveals the deep disparities that still exist in our country. And there should be no intimidation, no coercion, no threats, no anti-union propaganda. No supervisors who confront employees about their union preferences. You know, every worker should have a free and fair choice to join a union. The law guarantees that choice. And it's your right, not that of an employer. It's your right. No employer can take that right away. So make your voice heard. God bless you all, and may God protect the workers and their families who are trying to figure out how to make it fairly. Thank you.
All right, that's a mixed bag. I mean, like, the thing is that he's focusing on the choice piece of this, which means that the workers can choose just as easily to not be a part of the union, which is technically true. He is pointing out rules that exist within NLRA, the National Labor Relations Act, and at the same time, he's like not actually taking a stand. He's basically saying, "Hey, y'all can decide." He's not evaluating. I mean, he is at the beginning, and he's sort of like implying, I guess, that people should join unions, but at the same time, he's not like doing a strong support. He's not, and plus, the thing that really kind of pisses me off about this is he's not specifically highlighting any of the actual union busting efforts that we talked about earlier and more in depth on the other shows. He's not talking about when the bathroom signs where people are you're trying to use the bathroom and it says right in your face in giant letters on the inside of the stall, vote no on a union. They're not talking about changing the street lights that Amazon encouraged to happen in the area so that they can disrupt organizing patterns. They're not talking about any of that. He's just talking about how, he's saying things that are good and true, and he's doing it in the softest way possible. So yeah, you're right, G Wolf. That's Biden being Biden. If nothing else, he's good at being a politician. I don't even know if he's being that good at being a politician, particularly here, but this is Biden being Biden. He's like, I like unions. You should probably like unions too, but he won't ever take a stand. Like if that was Bernie Sanders, he would be in Alabama, like saying that you need to get your people on board because that's going to give you better wages, it's going to give you more worker protections, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever. Like this isn't bad. It's just it's just like lukewarm piss in a lot of ways. I don't know. I don't like it, but I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's just like it's no good because it makes it seem like these headlines that say Biden offers support to a union organizing drive. That's very bad reporting. Very bad reporting. So we watched CPAC yesterday. Y'all watched CPAC at all? I talked a little bit about that at the beginning. Maybe I can reset on that because I was having my technical problems. I talked a little bit about politician equals wishy-washy. No shit. Yeah, no kidding, G Wolf. I was talking a little bit about the Trump speech, and I watched the entire thing yesterday, and I had some conversations with folks. It seems to me like he was really, really low energy. Like he played some of the hits. He said a lot of his like normally, extremely, racist things. He talked a lot about how teachers unions are like preventing schools from being open, which is like patently not true. He like Randy Weingarten, who's the president of my union, American Federation of Teachers, has been like going on national TV and talking about why schools need to be opened. But I guess I can get into this specific thing that keeps happening, and it kind of like ties in with how things were going with the you were waiting for it for today to see the clips from CPAC. You can't stand to sit and watch it. No shit. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that when the Democrats or when people like Democrats, like Randy Weingarten is very, very closely linked to the Democrats as a union leader. When she essentially takes a weak position, like we want to open the schools, we want to make the schools safe, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I think it just sort of like rhetorically gives way too much away. But anyway, what ends up happening is when you start like putting yourself into this like already concessionary rhetorical position, and then you get clubbed over a head because you get zero credit for like you get zero credit in politics for a nuanced position. Like when you say, I want the schools to be open, but we want them to be safe first, like then that the Republicans or Trump or whatever are going to say, hey, the school's going to be closed. You want the schools closed then, don't you? And it's zero credit for a nuanced position is what happens with Democrats, and what ends up like coming through in the messaging. And it's very, very sad, very, very pathetic. And that's what happened here. But anyway, back to Trump. He lied about immigrants. He kind of alluded to running again. He didn't commit to anything. But they kind of like had a lot of polling and a lot of information that went out that was sort of indicating that they're testing the waters to see what people would be like. But it was a low energy speech. He said like his usual things. He complained about the election being rigged, all that kind of stuff. Good morning, top damage wizard. But it was a low energy speech. He did a very, very bad job. And which is actually very, very interesting. Because other parts of CPAC were like way higher energy, but they're coming from like way less profile figures, like Matt Gaetz, like Josh Hawley, like friggin' what's his name? I saw actually Kimberly Guilfoyle was on there as she introduced Don Jr. And that was very funny too, because he complained, and you probably saw this on Andrea's show, he complained about them canceling the Muppets and things like that. Oh my gosh. It was the expected shit show that it was, that we expected it to be. So it is what it is. It is what it is. What's going on, Top Damage Wizard? How are you doing today? Now I say it the way that fucking she says it. Top Damage Wizard. How you doing, man? One more story that I just kind of wanted to get through. I saw it. I glanced through it just this morning, and this is more of a local story. But these kind of things will always get my attention. Louisiana town's police chief arrested. Well, Dateline Homer, Alabama. A grand jury has indicted a longtime police chief in a North Louisiana town on weapons-related charges. The Louisiana State Police Bureau of Investigation arrested Haynesville Police Chief Anthony Smith Friday on charges of malfeasance in office and 5 counts of theft of firearms. It is unknown if Smith, who is an attorney who could speak on it is unknown if Smith has an attorney who could speak on his behalf. Records show how he remained in custody at the Claiborne Parish Detention Center as of Saturday. Let's take a look at this clip. All right. Wait, what? How does this work? That's not the clip. Okay, whatever. So anyway, it's a short story, but it is very, very interesting and very, very funny. I want to know more details, because it's always funny when a cop gets arrested for being a corrupt cop. So yeah, that's all I wanted to bring up. Cops getting served up. Okay, so Mike Lindell was muted on stream. that did happen. That did happen when he started talking about voter fraud and Satan. Well, he's under I mean, he's not under. He's being sued right now. Hold on. Let's cover that. All right. Okay, cool. There's video. Is there video? Let's see. Is there video? I don't think there's video. All right. Well, this is an article from Mediaite. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell gets muted during live interview at CPAC. Yeah, there is video. We got to get through the ad. The conservative pro-Trump YouTube channel, Right Side Broadcasting Network, RSBN, cut off MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell during an interview at the CPAC conference on Sunday due to him touting unhinged vaccine conspiracy theories. Yes, King.
Yesterday, where there's and I got to be careful here.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
There's anyway, go to my website, LindellTV.com. How about that? We'll see.
LindellTV.com.
Nowadays you can't. Nowadays, with free speech, you got to be careful what's free and what's not.
So right now, there's clearly it's almost like a piece missing in the Republican Party. We're looking for a leader.
Yeah.
We want someone that can take us to the next level.
Right.
And it could be anyone, but you've kind of stepped into a
really quick,
Republican Party.
The way that Right Side Broadcasting, like, this question is really weird. Like, if you listen to the formulation of this question as she asks it, we're looking for a leader. We're looking for somebody to take us to the next level. Is she like asking the MyPillow guy to run for office? Because if that's the case, that's hilarious.
We're looking for a leader.
Yeah.
We want someone that can take us to the next level.
Right.
And it could be anyone, but you've kind of stepped into a somewhat of a leadership position while not even being a politician.
Right.
Were you expecting that to happen? Because a lot of people look up to you. You can see that right here.
Well, I don't know if I expected it, but if God put me, MyPillow's just a platform for something much bigger. And it's, for me, it's, it was easy to step into that role because I do have a platform, at least, even though they're trying to suppress my voice, I'm getting it out there. People,
Absolutely.
getting it out there. And, God put me here for such a time as this. We all have a calling, and every one of us needs to get involved. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
And you were so passionate about just getting here today.
Yeah, I had to get here. I've had so much going on, and I wanted to get here to go down Media Road, to get the voice out, to get out a word of hope. There's stuff going on.
It's very funny in the setup to this, how he's talking about, he's complaining about the media silencing him, like in part. And
Israel right now that is so bad too, and I will say this. I don't think we're banned from saying this, but
talk about Israel.
Okay, in Israel right now, from the prime minister on down, we don't know what happened, but obviously congratulated Biden. But after that, we got a little suspect. Well, they're right now with the vaccine over there. They're
Look at the
whole
MyPillow picture. Look at the picture of him hugging the pillow, like on the news. Like, this is an ad. Like, every appearance that this fucking guy does is an ad for MyPillows.
So you can't go in shopping malls. You won't be able to get a job. And if this happens, it's the start for the world. It's the worst thing that could happen to this world. And I'm telling you, with that vaccine, I was just on the phone with some of their politicians last night. And that because I'm going all over the world right now. People are talking about me over here. Well, these guys, I told the one guy, I said, if you get a vaccine, which is only 95% effective, they say, then they want you to do another one in 6 months and 6 months. Well, I'm telling you, when you get that, what do you care what someone else does? If that person wants to come to a mall and they don't want to get vaccine, complete and
utter misunderstanding of how vaccines work. A complete and utter reject or ignoring the idea of herd immunity and things like that. Zero's back, by the way. But sure, go off, King.
mark of the beast stuff, and I don't care.
Well, hold on.
When you get that, what do you care what someone else does? If that person wants to come to a mall and they don't want to get vaccine, this is our bodies. This is mark of the beast stuff, and I don't care. I'll just put it right out there. This is revelation. I mean, if they're going to make them do that over in Israel, and why do you think they went to Israel first? What? That's kind of strange. This is weird, guys. It actually started the list.
Why do you think this is mark of the beast stuff? Why do you think they went to Israel first? You cannot lay on my keyboard. Why do you think they went to Israel first? Holy shit. That is some end times. That is some end time stuff. Mark of the beast. Why do you think they went to Israel first?
If that person wants to come to a mall and they don't want to get vaccine, this is our bodies. This is mark of the beast stuff, and I don't care. I'll just put it right out there. This is revelation. I mean, if they're going to make them do that over in Israel, and why do you think they went to Israel first? What? That's kind of strange. This is weird, guys. It actually started. The list started in Spain. It started in Spain, where Spain started putting people on this new world list. And I want to tell another thing here in the United States that happened on Inauguration Day. On Inauguration Day, the WHO and the CPC, they put a thing out now. Everyone's seen, COVID's going down. The rates are going down. They're telling you wear a double mask and do all this other stuff. Let me tell you, that's not.
How do they explain it? Look at him. He was like me, like at the beginning of this show. I talked for about 15 minutes with no audio.
Super careful. I hate to do it. I love you, but due to YouTube's guidelines, we will get our whole platform shut down if we talk about vaccines.
Well, this is over in Israel.
Yeah. I know. We love you. We love you. We love you.
Oh my God. We love you, my pillow guy, but you're spouting some stuff that's going to get us TOS banned.
The media. Is there any...
Oh my God. Let's do that again. He talks for like 4 minutes with no.
I hate to do it. I love you, but due to.
And the CPC, they put where Spain started putting people on this new world list. And I want to tell another thing here in the United States that happened on Inauguration Day. On Inauguration Day, the WHO and the CPC, they put a thing out now. Everyone's seen, COVID's going down. The rates are going down. They're telling you wear a double mask and do all this other stuff. Let me tell you, that's not.
I want to know what he was saying. I want to know so bad where he was going with this.
Super careful. I hate to do it. I love you, but due to YouTube's guidelines, we will get our whole platform shut down if we talk about.
Incredible. Oh my God, that's so good.
Well, this is over in Israel.
I know. We love you. We love you.
This is over in Israel.
So let's focus on what you're doing here today, talking to the media. Is there any specific other networks that you want to go to?
Incredible. Oh my God. So
Hello
good.
there, ladies.
So good. That was perfect. Oh my God. That made my morning. So good. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because I saw that this morning. I saw that had happened. However, I hadn't quite realized, because I hadn't watched it yet. I hadn't realized how insane all of that was. That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. Anyway, I think it's time to start winding this episode down. Thanks to G Wolf, thanks Top Damage Wizard, thanks to S, thanks to Antifa for all showing up today. Please, please, please tell your friends to watch the show. I can't believe I went like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or however long with no audio. Way longer than the My Pillow guy. I'm better than him. But yeah, thanks for watching. We are going to be doing our show tonight on Good Morning Comrade. We're going to do it on Twitch, and we're going to release it tomorrow morning for WHIV. In the meantime, I know many of y'all are already going there, but here's a link to our friend Cyberdemon 531, Andrea. She is doing her show Above It All, starting in about 4 minutes. Thanks everybody for showing up. Love you. Bye.